Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Cheryl, you got to teach me how to do that and put the Greater Cleveland Chorus in my background. That's cool.
Okay, are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let me mute everyone. So, and then Patty's going to take the floor.
Take the floor. Oh, he wasn't being literal.
Patty, you're muted.
I was unmuting. Somebody might have double teamed me. Welcome. Happy anniversary to all. Welcome to our celebration. In the past 35 years, there have been well over 300 people who could call themselves members of the Greater Cleveland Chorus, which I think is just an unbelievable number. Just curious, how many of you have been members of Greater Cleveland in the past? Of course, I can't see everybody. Can you guys see everybody? That is just awesome. So great to see you all here tonight. As of today, there are 15 of those original charter members still on the roster. We thought it would be fun to see some of those photos of these members from the past. Let me tell you, it wasn't a very easy task, but we will go forward. Okay, Rhiannon. Great Oz. Okay, I just wanted to show you this first document because technically this is our official notice from Sweet Adelines International that our consolidation was approved. So I think that's a very important document for us to start with because it makes us legitimate. Okay, Rhiannon. This is our official proclamation, which is very important. The official proclamation was given to us from the mayor of Independence. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's a bunch of whereases and whereases. And if you'd like to see it, I'm sure that document will be available when we're in person in the future. Go, Rhiannon. Go, Rhiannon, go. I love this document. It's so much what we are from the very beginning. It had a piece of music that none of us that have seen it could remember, but it's got our beautiful regent there, Mary Schwartz. It's got our logo that we designed as we had become members. And Fran was our first president of Greater Cleveland Chorus, and she's holding something that we have lost track of. And it is actually that first document that I showed you that's actually put on wood. Someday we're hoping that that comes out of the woodwork. And that bottom picture is our first rehearsal. I think it's just spectacular that it was hard to photograph because it's in a scrapbook, but that was our first official picture from our first official rehearsal, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, Rhiannon. These are the 15 members that are currently still on the roster and active. Miss Jerry Sattel, if you can't tell. Go.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. This is Schroeder and Schaefer back in the 80s, and we were making babies.
Not together.
Go, yeah, not together. This is Renee. Renee was very hard to get a picture of, and we talked about this afternoon. This was Renee Berenson, now Blau. Beautiful hat, Renee. This is Barb Tame. Beautiful hat, Barb Tame. I think this is Barb Tame. It was very hard. Go ahead. This is so funny. Number one, I barely can remember being in the front row, but if you can tell, that's Marilyn, and that's Jean Flynn, Tracy Brule, Sutherland, and Patty Schumann-Schaefer in the front row of our first chorus picture. Go ahead. That is Kathy Bazikas right in the center there, who is not with us tonight. That's Kathy when she was singing with yours truly. And they were one of the first quartets that were technically from our chorus. Go ahead, Rhiannon. That's Jerry Sattel again. Kathy Holsapple seems to have been very hard to get pictures of. I don't know why. You were one of my best buds, Kathy, but you didn't send me anything, so I had to use that. But that's Kathy. I think it's Kathy Holsapple. Go ahead. This is on the right side of the photograph is Terry, Sen, and Fran. The other gal is Bernie. She was not a 15-year member, but she was a Greater Cleveland, Bernie O'Malley. She was a Greater Cleveland member as well. Go ahead, Rhiannon. This is another quartet, but not in Greater Cleveland, but two of our members, Marilyn Schroeder and Mary Schwartz. Go ahead. This is Carolyn and Janie. Go ahead. And that's one of my favorite shots of Janie. Go ahead. A little bit better picture of Karen Lynn. Go ahead. Guess who that is? You haven't changed a bit, Martha. Go ahead. And that's me. I was 22. Haven't changed a bit, right?
That's Marilyn Zemla.
Yes, yes, that's Marilyn Zemla, correct. Go ahead. And another picture of Terry Sen in our
Great picture.
great picture in our garbage fabrique costume. Go ahead. I think that might be the, oh, there's a better one of Renee. I finally got her out of the middle of the chorus. Go ahead. And another one of Terry. A beautiful outfit. And Patty Temesee, Patty White Temesee. Beautiful. And our regent, Mary Schwartz. That was at her installation I couldn't tell you what year.
What's the name of that quartet?
That's Music Review. Yeah. Betty Clipman had tricked us that weekend. We had come in, what, 4th place? Is that a green ribbon? And she didn't want to put any pressure on us, but she made us learn a song for that regional installation that morning. What song was it, Marilyn? Something from, oh, I can't remember.
It's on the tip of my
Anyway.
tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you, Rhiannon. Okay, moving right along. All right, next up, Fran Zimmerman, are you in the house, I hope? Did she make it in? I'm sure she is. Excellent. Fran Zimmerman was our first GCC president. She was a friend of mine for 43 years. The two of us came from West Towns to join the merger with about 28 other people. Fran is a 60-year veteran of Sweet Adelines. Her first chapter was the Parma chapter, and we'll run that video.
Well, hello, Greater Cleveland. Happy anniversary. I'm sitting here with Fran Zimmerman, the famous Fran Zimmerman, Greater Cleveland's first chapter president. And we were just sharing, we went to lunch and shared this afternoon. And I just want to, those of you that haven't met Fran, I just want her to talk a little bit about herself, what children and family. And,
oh, okay. That'll be okay. We'll talk about Sweet Adelines.
Okay, we'll talk about Sweet Adelines first. That did come first.
Oh, yeah, no. As I said, we had children before we got into Sweet Adelines, and we had more children afterwards, as most of us did in those days. Yeah. I've been in Sweet Adelines since 1961, which is 60 years now, or over. First with Lake Erie Seaway in Lakewood, Ohio, and then with Parma chapter in Parma, which became West Towns, and then with Greater Cleveland.
Correct, yes.
Oh, did I get that right?
Yeah.
Good.
Good job, so far as I know.
I get graded on this, you see. And it was all wonderful. What a life. What a life.
Fran should be getting her 60-year pin this year. If not, we don't know when those are going to be dispensed, but we're pretty sure she's on 60 years. And would you share with those who don't know your quartet background?
Oh, well, I was in several quartets. I joined in 61, sang with some different people. And in 1968, I started singing with Bernie O'Malley, who some of you know, and Donna Barth, Kim's mother.
Kim's here too. Say hi, Kim.
Hi.
She's infamous. She's Donna
She's
Barth's
infamous.
daughter. And Helen Burns, who left and moved to Colorado shortly after we did win. Anyway, we started in 68. We competed in 69, but we had only been really practicing for a very short time. But the judges were very encouraging to us. And we competed in 1970, which was, we were at that time in Region 16. And so we went up to New York, and that's when we won the quartet contest. And we are still friends to this day, those of us who are around here, and but not singing. Of course, no one is singing right now, so we're with the crowd. But what fun it has been. A wonderful, wonderful experience all over. Still here.
And you mentioned Terry Sen.
Terry, Helen, our tenor, left and moved to Colorado, and Terry Sen became our tenor. And she wasn't even Terry Sen at that time, but she got married.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I was telling Patty that when we were looking for a tenor, one of the criteria was she had to be available during the day because we would only practice during the day. We were always home in the evening to make dinner and do all the proper housewifely things. And we had 16 children among the four of us, so maybe that made sense. And so we said, gee, Terry, we would really like to sing with you, but you're working. And she said, well, you know, I'm going to get married. So we said, well, good, then you can sing with us.
So as far as the merger, tell me what kind of memories you have and how that came about. How was your vision from that side?
Well, we had several Cleveland chapters because we did not have throughways in that era, and it took a long time to get from one suburb to another, and heaven forbid you would ever cross the Cuyahoga. No, that was the east side. You wanted nothing to do with that. Took too long, for one thing, main thing. And so we were in Lakewood, and another chapter did start up in Parma pretty much the same time as Lake Erie Seaway. I'm not sure exactly when, but we were all very, very local. There was a large chapter on the east side, CES, and they were always winning and doing all these wonderful things. We were working hard.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while decided the only way to go was to go big. If you wanted to really go somewhere in Sweet Adelines, and oh, incidentally, by that time, my quartet had transferred to Parma chapter, which became West Towns. And we really expanded after that. West Towns ended up being, a sizable chapter, but we still decided we would be better off in the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, was the impetus for the merger on our part, and I think CES's also, and Cuyahoga Valley for that matter.
Yeah.
And we were really, one more, CES
Cuyahoga Valley
Cuyahoga
and
Valley.
West Towns.
and West Towns. West Towns, unfortunately, did not vote to join the merger, but a large proportion of us went along with the merger.
Correct, there were 30 of us.
And eventually, many others came with us, but some who wanted to stay in a more local area stayed, and some joined Deliria, some, But as things go, it all worked out very,
Yeah.
very well.
We ended up with, I believe, I'm so bad with numbers, I believe we ended up with 105 going to
Yeah,
contest.
it was something over
once the merger
100,
was.
and we wore our garbage.
Garbage Fabrique.
Oh, garbage fabric designed by the famous Margaret McNaughton, made out of garbage bags.
They were initially angel costumes, which you'll see later in the video. They were angel costumes that Marge just put these large white plastic sleeves into.
Oh, we had very big.
Oh my
puffs.
gosh, they could hear us coming through the pattern.
Yeah.
Hear us coming through the pattern. So as far as the merger itself, and you being the first president to the Greater Cleveland chapter, which is kind of an interesting story about the name. I mean, how did the name come about? How did the standing rules come about? Were those?
I don't remember the standing rules. I'm sure that we just worked it out in the board. The name, we had several suggestions. It seems like it was maybe 4 or 5, I don't know.
Fran had a favorite though.
My choice was North Coast, but we didn't, that was not selected. We became Greater Cleveland.
Yeah.
Probably for the best. Has worked out very well.
Has worked out very well.
Yes, yes.
Well, anything else you can share as far as memories from your experience of being our first president?
It was great. It really was great, yes. And that was not the only time either.
No, that's for sure, yeah. How many times were you president?
Oh.
I mean, in all of your courses.
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
Uh-oh, she doesn't know the number.
I don't know. Probably 5, maybe.
I'll look that up. I've become a fact keeper now.
A couple times with West Towns, and I think 3 times with Greater Cleveland.
Okay.
But I could be wrong, I don't know. Not Lake Erie Speedway. I was too young and foolish.
You learned.
Right. Too many little kids.
Well, on behalf of Greater Cleveland, I thank you for meeting with us today, and hopefully you'll join us at our party and share some more memories.
Thank you. We're
Thank you.
looking forward to getting back in person so we can see everybody.
Amen.
Yes.
Happy anniversary, Greater Cleveland.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Sorry, couldn't find the unmute button. Was looking for my little square. Great job, Fran. Thank you so much for contributing. Great perspective from your side. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next, we have the wonderful team of Tracy Brule Sutherland and Renee Blau. If you want to pin them, they're going to kind of share some of their memories from their time back at CES, which is Cleveland East Suburban Air. We never used the full term, so I will try to do that from, actually, I thought it was Cleveland East Side until I started doing that. That's horrible. It was Cleveland East Suburban. You're on, girls.
Hi there. Hi, Trace. Hi, Patty. Oh, well, this has been such a wonderful experience, and thank you for asking me to do this because, oh, I've cried, I've laughed, I've had so many good memories. I started when I was about 29 years old. That was a long time ago, almost 40 years ago. And I came about, Becca was like a year and Jeff was 4 almost, and my mom had just passed away. And I was really lost. And I went to a diet program, and Robin Tracy, some of you will remember her, was in that program. And one morning I was watching Morning Exchange on Channel 5, and I saw Tracy and a bunch of women singing with straw hats. And I said, I want to do that. So next time I saw Tracy, I said, well, how do I do this? How do I join? And so I went to a guest night at Lyndhurst Community Presbyterian Church. I saw Old Mill 4 performing, and that I think had Tracy's mom, Pat, and Kathy Fazikis, and Tracy, help me.
Marge Kozowitz,
Marge Kozowitz, and I'm not sure who the 4th was.
Barb Curtis, or Shirley, or
One of
there
them.
was a plethora of bases.
And I was hooked. So I went to all their summer sing-outs, all in the area. I took the kids. It was just wonderful. And I wanted to be on the board within the first year, although they told me I had to wait. But you'll see in the future, I didn't wait very long. And so we met at the Hillcrest Church in Lyndhurst. Karen Lynn was voted in just before me. So we actually have been in almost the same time. I think her a year longer. And I met Pat and Tracy, Bev Mack, Alice Reed. I met so many friends, and Lee was our director at the time. And guess what? When the merger happened, I was on the board, which was 3 years later. And so I was new to Sweet Adelines. I didn't know what was going on. Yet again, Tracy's is a little different. We called her Sweet Adeline Brat, even though it's not really, but she has a lot of memories from her years growing up as a child of a Sweet Adeline and a barbershopper. Go ahead, Trace. Give us a little.
Well, at the time, I think the age limit was 16, but there was several of us like Beth Shandel and Ruth Ann Marcel that were all 14, but our mothers were in the chorus. So they allowed us in because our mothers were in the chorus. So that's how I got in. So I'm going on 43 years already. Yeah. And so I know Mother was always busy arranging, and she was doing a lot of directing, and she just was always doing something, a lot of quartetting. She was my idol, doing an old Mill 4, and they were just such a loved quartet, and they did well at contest. Yeah, and I remember Renee coming into at the church.
I found this out yesterday.
The church, and within, I don't know, a few weeks, they put her in the front row, and I was like, what's with this? I was very jealous that they put her in the front row. And, you know, I've been there a handful of years already, and you barely got in the front row. But that was always fun. Now Renee's one of my better buddies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And come the merger, I was early 20s myself. And as Fran said, young and foolish, I was busy doing drum corps and Lord knows what else. So I just, you know, barely went to chorus at that time and just kind of followed along. Whoops, where'd I go? There I am. So yeah, a lot of memories. And it's, as Renee said, we lost Mother in 97, and it's gonna make me cry.
I know.
I will never forget. I know Jean Flynn had lived forever away from us. We lived in Windsor at the time. And after everybody came to the house when my mom passed, and Jean Flynn came. I never told her this, but oh my goodness, I was just flabbergasted that it meant that much that she came all the way to the house for Mother's, you know, the funeral. It's like, wow.
I have to tell you, Tracy, your mom was my idol too. She was my arranger idol. I learned so much from her about arranging, and I'll never, ever forget that.
As I've learned from you, a lot of arranging. No.
Goes around, comes around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you done? You want me to go on?
Go ahead.
Pat was amazing. She was one of my best friends. I remember saying goodbye to her on Becca's birthday. I don't know if it was her 11th birthday or what. I took her out to dinner, and Beck said, we got to go say goodbye to Pat. And so we went to the hospital and we said goodbye. But I remember going to the Mill Tavern with them and singing tags when I was fresh in choruses. And she said, use your ear. You got a good ear, you know? And so she was one of my idols too. So at the time of the merger, CES, Karen Lynn was president, and I was vice president, and Alice Reed was recording secretary. Evelyn Kubison, oh my goodness, she was corresponding. Alice was recording, and Bonnie Sosi was the treasurer. And there were other people like Elsie Bergman, Joe Consolo, Barb Gobel, Marge Kozowitz, Margaret McNaughton, Betty Peters, and Lois Sturrock on the board. And the discussion at the meeting was, we want more people. So Ruth Ann Marcel was one of the youngest members of CES, along with you, Trace, I think. And she became chairman of a committee, a steering committee, to look about consolidation of our chorus with the other two choruses. And in June of '85, they reported that, let's go through with this and have a meeting at Euclid Square Mall. And I remember that. I remember a pillar being in front of my face. That's all I remember down there. And there's all these people there. And so it started, and all 7 choruses in the area were contacted, and they were They talked about why we wanted to consolidate to have more members. I think the chorus at that time was coming in like third. There were two other choruses that would come in second and first. And so, I mean, in the younger years of CES, I know they went in, was it 70 where they went to London for international?
78, 77.
77.
I joined in 78.
Okay. And the annual show, they wanted that to be bigger and more profitable. So there were a lot of good things. There were some other things that they thought, well, we have to get more costumes. We need a new repertoire. We need a director. Nobody wanted to hurt the director's feelings from the different choruses, and some people wouldn't come. And as Patty said, West Towns didn't all come, but 30 of them came. 28 came from Cuyahoga Valley and 50 came from CES. And by late September of 85, the chapters continued to work on the consolidation, and CES and Cuyahoga Valley and West Towns, as I said. And the new board was formed, 4 people from each of the chapters, so it was fair. And in 86, we became Greater Cleveland. My daughter tonight told me she remembers hearing the barbershop quartet sing in the living room. I remember it was Tracy and Patty Schaefer and Ruth Ann and myself. And I was still married to Charles at the time. And I had a cigarette I was going to light up. And Patty said, oh, you can't smoke if you're going to be in this quartet, and so I stopped smoking. I really did. And that was it. Maybe when I went into the bar with you, your mom or something, I maybe pulled a cigarette out. But yeah. But Becca says she remembers her favorite song was On the Road Again. And didn't your mother arrange that?
She did.
And the Strawberry Festival in Bedford. She remembers that. And the float in the Bedford Parade for July 4th. And she also remembers the big Passover Seder dinner that we had with a lot of chorus members at my friend's house. And she said Tuesday nights were sacred her entire childhood. She used to call us a cult. She says, Mom, you belong to that cult. And then she joined later on. So, she loved it. And when we became GCC, I started carpooling with Karen Lynn. And Heather was only a couple years older than Jeff, but I couldn't leave Becca alone. So Heather would come over. I'd say she's babysitting for Becca. And Jeff wouldn't even come out of his room because he was so in awe of how beautiful Heather was that he was a lot of trouble, but not for Heather. So Karen Lynn and Jonay and I would go carpool. And unfortunately or fortunately, Karen would become a president, and then Jonay would become the president, and then I would expected to become the president. I was only once, but they were great influences. All the women that were in this organization are in this organization are just wonderful. I mean, it took me through a divorce. It took me through finding Steve in the barbershop world, my husband now for 14 years. I remember our first competition in the plastic fabric. I don't know, when I got off the stage, it was stuck to my arms from the sweat. And I had to go and do the score sheets, and then the computer didn't work. And Terry and Nancy Bell were there and trying to get my sleeves off, and they were pinned to the poofy shoulder things, and they were just stuck to my arms from sweat. But I remember being up in Bev and Evelyn's suite, and it was just, I said, what am I doing up here? I mean, these are the big hoo-has, and I'm down here, and I'm with them. I mean, who am I? It's only been three years when I was in Sweet Adeline, but they became very good friends. Still friends with Bev now. Still friends with Karen. I have friends that have passed. Karen is passing. And I have true friends that are still here. And I couldn't have made it this far without all of you guys. it's just, every time I think about it, I cry. But thank you. Thank you for all the love. Trace, do you got anything else to say?
That was wonderful. You did good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know it was more than 5 or 10 minutes, Patty.
Oh, honey, that was just a ballpark. You're fine. Thank you so much. Great chat, girls. Yeah. Thank you so much. Now we're going to share another interview from another veteran, Sweet Adeline. Our wonderful superhero, Mary Schwartz, and Marilyn sat down and did a little interview. Mary is not only an original charter member, but I believe a veteran of over 40 years, which I'm sure she'll fill us in on. So Rhiannon, if you can, Mrs. Oz, if you can run that video.
Hey, I'm sitting here with Mary Schwartz. Mary Schwartz was a longtime member of Sweet Adelines. In fact, she and I started in Cuyahoga Valley at the very beginning of that chorus life.
Exactly.
What year was that, Mary?
1975,
Yeah, in the summer, I think.
I believe, because our charter was in 1976. It was a group of people that were never Sweet Adelines. It was amazing to be in a room, but Carolyn Ballou was our director, or she was the one that organized the meeting. And she was so alive and such a live wire. I fell in love with her that night, and I became a Sweet Adeline that night. It was amazing. I don't know how I became the first president of Cuyahoga Valley, but I did. And I guess because I've had some administrative skills, and I guess Carolyn recognized that. I'm not sure how all that happened. But anyhow, it was a fun ride. And as time went on, you know, I do have to say that for all of us that had never been Sweet Adelines, the first year that we went to regional competition, we won the Small Chorus Award. I'll never forget, they called our name and Carolyn and I were sitting together, and it was in the hotel where they have contests now. And we were sitting way back, and I said, did they call our name? And we went rushing up to get our little trophy and applause. And as a matter of fact, we won the Small Chorus Award several times after that. So Carolyn was a very good teacher, and she taught us well. And she came from West Towns, so that was a big course, and they were champions. And so she understood how the whole organization worked. And we had people from international that came and helped us, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We all sucked it right up.
We enjoyed it a lot. In fact, Mary and I were in a quartet that after that first contest, we got into quartet and sang our first quartet contest the very next year. We won't talk about where we placed, but we sang in the quartet contest. So,
Yes.
And we won't even say the name.
No, we won't.
But it was really fun. And Carolyn was our director for 5 years. And then she moved on to other things, and we had to get another director. And we got Jean Flynn. And some of you might know who Jean Flynn is. And so we were pretty successful Sweet Adelines at that point for her to come along. And she was a director of another course at a time, but it was pretty far away, I think. And then we got together and merged into what is now Greater Cleveland.
Right.
And so Mary was an administrator right from the beginning. So that was her path for sure.
Right. During that time that the courses merged, we had the regional government was called Regent, and we had a regent, a vice regent, a secretary treasurer, and a secretary and a treasurer, and then we had a board of directors. And at that time, I happened to be the regent. I'm not sure how I got that job either, but all of a sudden I woke up one day and there I was. So I had I was representing the region when the chorus would have their meetings, you know, the 3 choruses. I represented the administrative end at a higher level than what the choruses were. And as the choruses progressed, then Bev Miller she was probably the membership person at International at the time. I don't think she was regent at that, or international president at that time, even though she was, but she came to help the choruses with their final mergering and, you know, talked about, I really don't remember what all she talked about, but anyhow, I know that she came and helped, and she was a big help. We were a first, and so we were sort of like the pilot program for International. And since that time, there have been many mergers, but at that time, I do believe that Greater Cleveland was the first one to do that 35 years ago. That was a long time ago.
And it was probably the first one in Region 17 because the
for
borders
sure.
had changed over the years. But when we first started in 1975, we chartered in 76. That was the first year for Region 17.
Yes,
So this might have been the first merger for our region.
right. Well, I think it was for International. I believe to have, I mean, I think there probably were 2 choruses that might have merged, but to have 3 groups of people, you know, that's putting together quite a mix of people to come under one figurehead. And we made it work. It was amazing during that time.
And we
you know,
worked hard for that. We bent over backwards to make sure it was going to work for everybody involved. We
Yes.
didn't want it to be a big CES or a big Cuyahoga Valley or anything like that. We
Or
wanted
West
to be
Towns,
a
right.
real merger of the people
Right.
who are coming together.
And so the name, I think, reflected that, Greater Cleveland Chorus. And that's why we chose that name.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Well, I'm glad you were in charge, Mary, because being an administrator is really important and, you know.
Well,
So.
it was an interesting ride for me also. I had to learn a lot about the different personalities that were coming together and how to best serve everyone. It was, you know, I think that as I sit here today and roll my mind back 35 years, it's amazing that I can even remember that kind of stuff.
I hear
But the longer I talk about it, the more it comes back to me. And it was a great time to be a Sweet Adeline. It's been fun, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And because I didn't have any family living close around here, Sweet Adelines and the girls in the chorus were my family. And you make lifelong friendships there. And even though I'm no longer in the chorus, I look at things on Facebook and I think, oh, golly, we were such good friends. And even I was privileged to go to International several times as regent. And so I met other regents from other regions. And I met people from all over, everywhere, and so I went to Internationals, many of them afterwards, even when I wasn't regent, and so I would see them there, and it was just fun. And I had such a wonderful position in Region 17 then as the person that was backstage during contest, and it was called the competition coordinator. It was CC, and it was an international appointment. And I had that job for 20 years.
Wow.
And I saw all the contestants, all the quartets, and all the chorus members year after year, get them on the stage. And that was, without a doubt, my most fun time. And that was a wonderful position. And anyone who ever has that position, I envy them because they really get to see what's going on backstage.
That's the best seat in the house, as they say.
Sure is. It sure is.
And you were really good at that job too, getting the house ready together, but also with seeing all the contestants and calming them down when they were nervous. And
oh, some of the quartets you almost had to push out on stage. And I remember one of them, they really weren't going to go. And I said, look, you paid the money, you have the gowns, you have the songs. Now, you have to go out there and sing for the people. Don't pretend like the judges don't have any clothes on. You know, there were little tricks that you could use. And so they did. They went out and they sang their 2 songs. And I usually did not meet people on the other side of the stage because my job was on one side. And there were other people on the other side when they came off the stage. But I went off the stage to talk to that quartet afterwards. And they were glad they did it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we were lucky that you had that job all those 20
Well,
years
it was
because
fun.
you made it wonderful for all of us.
Well, thank you, Marilyn. But, you know, it was my pleasure to do all of that. That was really a lot of fun. And
That's
I've had
great.
lots of other positions in Sweet Adelines, but I think probably I put that at the top of my list as most fun.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you were here to talk with us today. That's really awesome. We'll talk some more.
I'm really glad that I was able to talk too, and it was wonderful to be on here. And happy 35th anniversary to the chorus and everybody. Bye now.
Thank you, Mary and Marilyn. Great interview. That was fantastic. All right, at this time, grab your popcorn and your favorite beverage. I've been digging through boxes and bags of old photos and new photos, going through scrapbooks and gathering memories. I want to share what I've found. It's a 20-minute video, so seriously, if you want to take a moment. Thank you, all of you that have preserved your memories in photographs and scrapbooks. I've realized as a photographer just how important that is, particularly to this event. Fantastic records from Patty Tennessee, I owe her. Karen Lynn, fantastic. And the people that have done the scrapbooks over the years, great, great job. Okay, we're going to, if you can, shut your video off because this one's got a little bit more video to it. So if you know how to shut your video off, shut your video off, and it'll be about a 19, 20-minute video. Sit back and enjoy.
Share the joy, share the joy, find a friend, it's a never-ending circle that comes round again. A sound of hope, a sound of peace, a sound that celebrates and speaks what we believe. A sound of love, a sound so strong. It's amazing what is given when we share a song. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Soothe the soul, mend a heart, bring together lives that have been torn apart. Share the joy, find a friend. It's a never stand as one in harmony. Harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Music builds a bridge. It can tear down a wall. Music is a language that can speak to one and all. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. In harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Come sing with me. This is why we sing, we sing, we sing. Bum 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 ba 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 da ba da ba. Our family, family. I got all my sisters with me. Everybody, we are family, family. Get up, everybody, and sing, sing it to me, sing, sing, sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk down by. And we fly just like birds of a feather. I don't tell no lies. All of the people all around us, they say, can they be that close? Now let me say for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. So yes, and we are family, family. I got all my sisters with me. Everybody, we are family, family. Get up, everybody, and sing, sing it to me, sing, sing, sing. Near the light is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's daylight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals inside. No, we don't get depressed. Here's where we go. Our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong, oh no. This is our family jewel. Oh yes, and we are family, family. I got all my sisters with me. Everybody, we are family, family. Get up, everybody, and sing, sing it to me. We are family. Ba 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 da ba da bow. the rain that's ringing, making a crazy ding dong, a ding dong. And if this band don't desert me, then there's nothing in the world can hurt me, long as I'm singing my song, my song. Give me those trumpets, legato, put some saxes with strings, pizzicato, and some rhythm, digging it. As long as I'm singing, then the world's alright and everything's swinging, long as I'm singing my song, my song. What a dia do proo bwee bwee, ya da da do wa da, ya da da dwee do 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 dwee broo bwee. What a dia do proo bwee bwee, ya da da do wa da, ya da da dwee dwee da do do dwee da. Yeah. Making music is more to me than a pleasure, 'cause me and music, we go together like notes in a measure. Long as I'm singing, then the world's alright and everything's swinging. Long as I'm singing my, long as I'm singing my, long as I'm singing, everything is swinging my. Let the chords keep ringing, long as I'm singing my song.
I was doing. It didn't.
Okay, you can turn your videos back on.
Wow.
All right. Fun, huh? Lots of good memories. So, okay. We have a celebrity with us tonight. Our Jean Flynn is here to celebrate with us. Jean is a 47-year veteran. Wow. She must have been 2 when she joined. Her first chapter was Village Bell chapter in 1976. Her first director, whoa, I lost my place. I should just let you do this. Her first director position was with the Chippewa Valley Chorus. Then she became director of Cuyahoga Valley Chorus. By the way, Marilyn Mary, she couldn't remember the years, so you'll have to help her out with that. Then, as we know, Cuyahoga Valley joined the merger and became part of the Greater Cleveland Chorus. Well, let's her tell the rest. Jean.
I'm really happy to be here tonight. So it's very fun. And you know what? I sort of got, I got this phone call from my old friend, Mary Schwartz. And she said, "Hi, Jean, how have you been? We'd like to take you out to dinner." And I was like, okay. So Fran Zimmerman, the first president, and Mary came down by me, and they took me out to dinner to twist my arm, coerce me. They said, "Have we got a deal for you? We want to know if you would be willing to come up to Greater Cleveland and coach Greater Cleveland. Glenn Gibson is our director. And here's the deal. If you come up and coach us this year, this is going to be his last year as directing. And then we would like you to take over as the chorus director. What do you think of that?" And I was like, and I said, "Well, I have this little problem." Well, she wasn't a problem. She was like a little blessing. I had my surprise Kelly, who was just a tiny baby at the time. She wasn't even a year old when they approached me to do this. And I said, "Well, there really is no way that I can do that right now in my life unless you're going to provide a babysitter that can watch the baby every Tuesday night." Because my husband was a grocery store manager, and sometimes he had to work on Tuesday evenings, and that's the only way that would work. So I remember Sue Lengel, her daughter came, and she would drive her to my house. I think she was in high school at the time, and babysat, and then I rode the chorus with Sue, and then we'd come back and she'd take her home. And I remember thinking at the time, well, I'll try this, I guess. And then I told myself, I'm going to try it for 1 year just to see how it goes. And I was hooked. After that first competition, I was hooked. They really twisted my arm. Oh, Mary. Oh my gosh. That was something else. Lots of great, great memories about that. I think that was, I don't know, 93 or 94 or something. Kelly wasn't even a year old. And the fun part now is, now that I live in Florida, I am singing with both my daughters. Melissa was in the Greater Cleveland Chorus when she was in high school. And when she moved to Florida, she joined Sound of Sunshine Chorus. And Kelly, believe it or not, joined Sweet Adelines last year. It's been 2 years now. And so it's been kind of a special treat to be able to sing with my 2 daughters. Not too many people can say they could sing with their 2 daughters. That's really been kind of fun. Yeah. So, Mary, do you remember twisting my arm and going out to dinner?
I do. I remember.
You and Fran.
Fran and I plotted on the way down what we were going to do and say. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we sort of knew this was sort of a last chance here. We needed to have you come and be our director. And and when she said, "Well, we have to provide a babysitter," "Oh, that's no problem. We can provide a babysitter." We had no idea who was going to be the babysitter, but that's all right. Yeah. Well, I'm certainly glad we did, and it worked out, and it was a wonderful ride, Jean.
Oh, it's
Really.
been fun. So many great memories.
Years, goodness.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm thinking about a lot of things, since this has been coming up, and I can't believe all the things that we did. My goodness. And yeah, there were ups and downs, but we just rose above it, Jean, right?
That's right, Mary. Mary has been my mentor my whole Sweet Adeline life, and she still is. And I thank God every day for you, Mary, because you molded me into the Sweet Adeline that I am today.
Oh,
So thank you for that.
goodness.
Yeah.
I knew that you had all this talent in there just waiting to come out.
Oh my
And it came-
gosh.
Yes. The
And-
chorus was very lucky to have you all those years.
I miss everybody. I do. It's kind of different down
Oh, I
here.
do too. Yeah. But
So Patty was asking, what's my favorite memory? Well, my gosh, I have so many favorite memories, but one of my most favorite was in 2001. And I remember we called it, instead of 2001, we called it 2000 and WON, because I can remember Melissa was living in Florida and she had joined the Sound of Sunshine Chorus. And her competition was, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before ours was. And she called me, Mom, we won. And she kept saying, we have one blue medal in the Flynn family. Now we need to have another blue medal in the Flynn family. You know, and so that was so cute. And she applied that year for the Region 17 scholarship that they gave. You know, they gave it to students that were going into music. And so we knew that she couldn't come up to give her thank you speech. Or anyway, she did get chosen. And I said, Melissa, send me your speech and I'll read the speech for you, you know, for everybody since you can't come. Okay, Mom. You know, here it is a week before. Melissa, send me your speech. Here it was 2 days before. Melissa, send me your speech. Oh, Mom, I will, you know. Well, then we went to the chorus breakfast that morning. What a wonderful surprise. It wasn't exactly on my birthday, but it was birthday weekend for me. And I thought, oh, how nice. Somebody put a birthday card, you know, at my plate at the breakfast. And they go, you got to open it. You got to open it right away. So I opened it and I was like, oh my gosh. My birthday surprise was someone in the chorus anonymously paid for a plane fare for Melissa to come to our competition weekend. And they said, this is your surprise, but we thought we better tell you at the breakfast because her flight is due to land. She's due to get at the hotel in the middle of our rehearsal, and we didn't want to do that to you, you know, during the rehearsal. I just remember that I was like so stunned. And I remember being at the rehearsal and she came running in with her blue ribbon. She goes, Mom, we got a blue ribbon. Oh, we need one more. And I think that's also that was the year that we won our first regional competition. And I think that's the year we sang my arrangement. I don't know if I remember that part correctly, but it's like, oh my gosh, that was one of the highlights of my Sweet Adeline career. Just all that together, and then Melissa got to be there and give her own speech that Saturday night at that. I mean, there are all kinds of memories from that, clear up to being a bird. You should hear my son Ryan talk about the birds. He says, Mom, you are a riot. He was watching it on the video, you know, on the webcast, and he sent me, I don't know, 50, 60, 80 pictures after screenshots that he had taken because he said, Mom, you even acted like a bird. All the shots are like, you know, being a bird. It's hysterical. Oh my gosh. So I just have, my heart is still with you. I wish the best for you. And if we ever get together and sing again, you know, I'm going to be there to cheer you on whenever we get to have a regional competition again. I don't want to miss that. So thanks for the memories. It's just been a great ride. Wish it didn't have to end, but life goes on. So now that I'm in Region 9, I'm on the regional faculty in Region 9, and I've done coaching down here already, and I am like Sound of Sunshine's personal arranger, or whatever you call it, to tweak things. And I've been working with a ranger certification program, and it's been a thrill to still be teaching in 17 and 9. So that's been really fun. So I may be gone, but not forgotten. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Awesome to hear from you, Jean. Next, I have someone that I tried to get in person, and I don't think she's here because she's got to deal with some babies. But we have a little message from Rhiannon. She's, of course, Rhiannon. That'd be odd.
I'll share the video, but it's not my message.
Sorry, no, we don't have a message from Rhiannon. She's not on a baby moon. It's Sanella. We have a message from Sanella that she wanted to share. She wanted to be here in person, but it was just too hard to juggle her baby schedule and her schedule. So we'll respect her baby moon, and maybe she is in the house. I'm not sure, but we'll go ahead and run that note from Sanella, not Rhiannon.
Hi, my name is Sanella, and I am one of the newer members of Greater Cleveland Chorus. Thank you guys so much for joining in and coming to celebrate our 35-year anniversary. And I'm very excited to be part of it and to be able to speak to you a little bit about my experience with GCC. I have been with GCC since about 2018, and I have loved every minute of it. The women are fantastic. They're wonderful. They are one of a kind and have huge hearts, love each other tremendously, take care of one another. And I'm so happy and so proud to be part of such a wonderful organization and a group of women. I apologize I could not be there today live with all of you, but I wanted to tell you that I've missed you all and you hold a very special place in my heart. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I can't wait to be reunited with the rest of you after my little baby moon here. Hope you are all doing well, and go GCC, 35 years.
Great, she's such a sweetheart. Miss her. Miss her. We need a nanny for her too. All right. You tired yet? You okay? Got another video coming up. I have another special surprise. The next, oh wait, I jumped. The next video is from Marilyn Schroeder and myself. Marilyn reflects on her years as an assistant and an associate director. It's a video. Oh, I don't know what's happening there. The video that follows is a video recalling quartet history of the Greater Cleveland Chorus. There we go.
Hey, Greater Cleveland, this is such a great party. I can't believe it's been 35 years. And I've been there the whole time, have you? Well, and I'm still only 47 years old, so what does that make me when I started? I don't know. The nice thing about this chorus is we've had so many different directors. It's really molded us to what we are today. And I've been fortunate enough to be the associate director or assistant director for all of the directors that we've had. So first there was Lance Heilman. He was our first guy. He was only there for a year, and we did not know him very well. I think Daryl Flynn was instrumental in finding him for us. We were pretty adamant about not having one of the chorus directors from the merger be the director of this new chorus. We really wanted a new image, and so that's who we had. He was only there for a year, and I was only an assistant director for him, but that was really fun, and I learned a lot. Our next director was LaDonna Thomas, and a lot of you know who she is. She is well known in our region. She was a quartetter. She might have even been the DMA, I don't know, but she definitely directed some smaller choruses too. Had a big personality, loved to be on the stage, and so that's what we were too with her. We had a big personality for our chorus. She asked me to be her associate director, and I was honored to do that. She was a sweet Adeline, so we could relate to her. Lance Heilman was a barber shopper, and we really didn't know what we were doing that first year anyway, but LaDonna kind of formed us into the Greater Cleveland Chorus machine that we were at the time. She even got us as high as second place regional, so that was really fun. Our third director was Glenn Gibson,
I loved Glenn Gibson. He was such a nice guy. And he asked me to be his associate director, so I thought that was awesome. He was a barber shopper, and he directed a men's chorus at one time, as high as 4th place international, I think. He really knew what he was doing. And up until then, we were Sweet Adelines and had a lot of fun, but I think he really taught us how to sing barbershop. He taught us about tags and woodshedding and some really other interesting things. Really, really loved him. He was only there for a couple of years, though. He had some problems with his knees, and it really was hard to be the director and not be able to stand up. So he was very glad when Gene Flynn agreed to come and be our director for the next part of our life. And they were friends too. With Gene, we had the best of both worlds, because her dad was a barber shopper and she was a Sweet Adeline for a long time. And she had directed Cuyahoga Valley, which was one of the merging choruses. She was a music teacher by trade, and so she knew a lot of technical things about music and arranging. And hello, kitty. They're about to jump on me.
Marilyn loves kitties, by the way.
And so when Gene Flynn asked me to be her associate director, it wasn't just because I had been before, it's because I was her assistant at Cuyahoga Valley, and we were a good team for a long, long time. And so I was so glad to have Jean there. And she really was the person who got us on that uphill trajectory. I think we were as low as 6th place maybe with her, and got all the way up to 1st place regional, and that's where we stayed for 20 years. It was an amazing ride with Jean. Sad to see her retire and move to Florida with her kids, but we had to do that. And so we had some people in line to be our next director, and then the pandemic hit. And so we said, okay, we're not doing that yet. So we were on Zoom for a while, and we're so grateful to Joanne to keeping our meetings going on Zoom, because we thought it was just going to be a short while, and so did she. And then it went on and on and on, and we finally said, okay, we can't keep these people hanging. We have got to decide on a new director. So after a long process, we decided on Nathan Ogg, and he's going to be our new director. He is now. We've only seen him once in person, and he's a barber shopper. He's a quartet district champion, and so he knows how to sing. He sings in a professional organization too, but he's a trained vocalist, and he knows all about vocal production. And so we're excited to learn how to be better singers with Nathan. So I can't wait till we can get back together, Nathan, and all you other people out there in Zoom land. So I just wanted to wrap up by saying we've had lots of different directors from Sweet Adelines and from the Barbershop Society. We had a man, and then a woman, and then a man, and then a woman, and then a man. So we've tried everything. And it was my pleasure to be the associate director for almost all of them and assistant for the first guy. And what a ride it's been, and it's been my privilege to learn from all of them. I feel like our course has really grown from infancy with Lance. We were just babies then, and LaDonna, we were like kids, just singing big, flashy songs and shows and having fun. And then when Glenn came along, he turned us into grown-ups a little bit, like going through the teenage years and teaching us barbershop and getting us to where we needed to be right when Jean Flynn came along, and she got us graduating high school and into college. We were at the big time going to international. So we just want to say to Nathan, we're ready for graduate school.
Yay!
Could you get us to the top now? So it's been great. Loved all these directors. Have a great party, everybody.
Hi.
She's Patty.
She's Schroeder.
I got a last name. And we're here to talk about quartets in Greater Cleveland. I was in a quartet once. How about you?
I was in a quartet once.
A couple times.
Twice. 3 times.
There have been a lot of people in our chorus that have been in quartets, and some of them have been very successful, and most of them have been great. I don't think we know the total number of people in our chorus that have competed.
There's no way.
I think there was just too many.
Yeah.
But I do have some statistics about quartets that have competed representing Greater Cleveland. 90s. Here we go. Singing Club and Music Review competed in the 90s as well. Park Avenue, that was a big one. Do you remember them?
I remember them. Brought to you by Park Avenue.
CDs are still available. I love that. Yes. Park Avenue, Park Avenue, Park Avenue. They were in there a lot.
You know, Marilyn, I think that's the year. There was a year that we had 6 quartets out of Greater Cleveland, 5 or 6 quartets in one year competing at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had a couple of years like that. That I just know this from
That didn't surprise
all
me.
the stats that have
The
come in.
Singing Club and Park Avenue were in there all together. Oh my gosh, yes. Sundance. Oh, we're in the thousands now, the 2000 years.
Yeah.
We call those the Fazekas years, I think. Sundance, Black Velvet, TGIF, Black Velvet, Flipside, Black Velvet, TGIF again, Naturally again. Let's see who's on this page. Naturally, and you won't believe this,
Naturally.
they were around for a while. They were a pretty darn good quartet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good quartet.
Great quartets from our chorus.
Yeah.
And not all the quartets had 4 people in the quartet from Greater Cleveland, but at least all of those quartets had at least 1 member or more representing us. And so, woohoo, woo-woo, that was really nice. And you know what I thought about that? When you have 4 people from our chorus, that's really a feather in our cap for Greater Cleveland. But when you have people from other choruses, you have lots more fans. You have more choruses cheering for you. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yes, it is.
And some of our quartets and the people from Greater Cleveland have gone on to win that quartet contest in Region 17.
The winners are, I'll do the years too.
Yeah.
1992 was the Singing Club.
Woo-hoo.
1992, Music Review won wild card. 1993 was Glitz. 1998, 99, and 2000 was Park Avenue. 1997, Park Avenue won wild card. 2004 was Sundance. 2006, 2008, 2010 was Black Velvet. They competed in International at 2007. 2007 and 2011 was TGIF. 2011 was Vicky, and 2007 was Tracy.
Oh, at TGIF.
TGIF,
Right,
correct?
right.
Yeah. 2012, 2013, 2014 was Naturally.
Wow.
Wild card in 2015. So here we have to point something out. We have a member of our chorus who has done exceptional work in quartetting. Can you all guess who that is? There is a tenor that's run wild over the years. Kathy has had 10 wins. Kathy Fazekas, Fuzz as we all know her. Kathy has had 10 wins, 3 wild cards. She was at International once, and when they placed top 15. She was in a total of 7 quartets that she could remember. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Probably a lot before they merged into Greater Cleveland too.
That is a very successful record, and we're very proud of you, Fuzz.
Woo! Fuzz, you are the queen. We think you're awesome.
But, you know, just in general, Greater Cleveland has been blessed with an incredible amount of talent in the barbershop picture. And barbershop starts with the root is the quartet. And we've been blessed and hope to be blessed in years to come.
I hope so, because quartetting is so much fun. And the more quartets you have, the better the chorus is. And the better the chorus is, the more quartets you get. So
That's right.
Keep on singing. Woohoo, quartets. Whoop, whoop.
How many times have you won, Marilyn?
How many times have you won, Patty?
Oh, I've won 3 times. How about you, Marilyn?
Well, not to brag. I've won 5 times. And I got
That
to
is
do
awesome.
3 times wild card, so that was really cool. You were a wild card too.
2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had our day in the sun. It was really fun, and hopefully there'll be some more to come. Anybody want to sing with us?
Remember, brought to you by Park Avenue. No, I might cut that.
Oh, good times. Good times. Okay, thank you, Marilyn, for coming over and doing the video. That was a fun day. We had some good times, and she was attacked by my cats a couple times. I have one more surprise, but before we go to that, is there anybody else that wants to maybe share some memories before we move on? Just kind of wave your hand, and maybe we'll have you unmute yourself. Anybody want to? LaDonna, you have anything you want to share? Anybody? No? Okay. I do
Patty.
have, go ahead.
Schroeder here. I want to say something, Schroeder. Sorry, I lost my thing. This is kind of embarrassing to say, but when Cuyahoga Valley voted to merge into the Greater Cleveland Chorus, I was on the team that counted the votes, and it was not unanimous. There was one person who voted not to merge. And embarrassing as this is to say, I was the one who voted not to merge. It's not that I didn't want to, try new things, but I loved our little chorus, and I loved looking up at the risers and knowing where everybody was and how they were doing. And I just didn't want this huge group of people. I didn't like change. And look what happened. Sometimes you just got to step out of your box and step out of your comfort zone and try something new. And it turned out great for me. So I just wanted to admit that.
True confessions. Anybody else want to?
Oh, I just want to say really quick, Greater Cleveland was my first chorus. I'm on chorus number 5 in Harbor City, but I can still remember walking in on that first guest night. There was a woman named Cindy, and I can't remember her last name, who sang in Akron and came in and had her Sweet Adeline card. Cindy Johnson?
Cindy, oh my gosh, Dressler.
Cindy Dressler.
Was that? I don't know. She had moved from Atlanta. She had moved from Song of Atlanta, and she had come into work. Anyways, you guys had a guest night folder, and I came a poster, and I came in, and that was the same thing. Been singing on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Karen Rantala gave me my first thing. I remember doing my audition and going, it was easier to have babies than do this, but just good to see everybody and miss you all. And Patty, your picture that you took of my family is still sitting on my wall.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Cool. Good to see you, Faith.
I'd like to share a fun story, if that's all right. Let's see if I can see everybody. Hi, everybody. So good to see you all. Oh my gosh. I love you all to pieces, and all the new people that weren't in when I was in. I just know you're having a wonderful time. And as I was looking at the pictures, I would go, oh, I wasn't in that year. Oh, I wasn't in that year. And it's just been really wonderful. And Mary, when you were sharing, all I could think of was you telling me about putting Vaseline underneath my lip and, having a big mouthful of Vaseline, but it worked, and being encouraged by you all and just loving you all. Dawn singing next to you was glorious, and Jerry, just so good to see you all. Jean, loved every beautiful moment that you are directing us. And I hope you all just really enjoy the new director. I know you're going to love him, and it just sounds very exciting. And I can't think of any other embarrassing stories, because I think those were done by all of y'all and not me. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Marilyn. I see some other people unmuted. Jonae, did you need to say something?
Of course I do.
Yay.
What a beautiful, beautiful evening, by the way. Thank you so much. And I'm going to try not to cry, but I keep thinking back at Buckeye and how much fun we had going to Buckeye, and how that was such a stepping stone kind of into us coming out onto stage and just being who we are. And I think one of the things that I'll say the music team and Jean Flynn were very good at is encouraging people to sing and doing what we do. And it's so much fun. So many blessings. I can't say enough. I love you all.
Thanks, Jonae. Love you.
Patty, I also just have to say, you're the only beautiful gang of people that I could sing in front of. I don't know how many thousand people were at those baseball games, or I think I did the basketball games, but it was just glorious, being there, and then to think there were all those people watching us, but it was just fun. It was just beautiful harmony and fun.
Awesome.
And thanks again.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Patty, it's Carol.
Carolese.
Yes, I have just something to talk about a little bit. I came with Glenn Gibson, actually, I told him about the job that was going to be opening up when we knew that LaDonna was going to be leaving. And he wanted me to come with him when he came over to audition. I said, oh no, you have to do this all by yourself. So he did. And I said, but I had always promised if that he was ever going to direct a women's chorus, I would be there. So he got the job, and it's like, okay, now, so that's how I came. And it was wonderful, and I loved every minute of it. But one of the funniest things that happened, and Marilyn's involved in this one, we were sitting, I don't think we had won any medals. We were still coming in sixth or something like that. And we were sitting in the audience, we were sitting beside each other, and they announced one of the medal winners, and they said, I'll say fifth place, I'm not sure. Fifth place, Greater, and she and I stood right up, and they said Harmony, and we sat right back down again. That was quite embarrassing for all those people sitting around us.
Good one, Carol.
Greater Harmony. But it's been wonderful. I've enjoyed it all for 27, 28 years, whatever it is with you, 57 altogether. But
awesome.
This has been wonderful.
Awesome.
Oh, here.
Oh.
Yeah. I just want to say I am a charter member of this chorus, but I left for like 14 years. I came with the chorus back in, was it 1986, whenever we merged?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it just wasn't fitting in my life at that time. And I came back in 2000, and I've been here ever since, and I love it. It's a wonderful sisterhood. But I guess what I want to say is, you can always come back. If it's not fitting in your life for some reason, take your little break, but come back. It's always there for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Kat. Anybody else want to share? No?
Zinky has her hand up. Zinky? I just asked you to unmute. Go ahead.
Unmute. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to say something if I could. I have done numerous installations for the chorus and have enjoyed every one of them. But I think the proudest moment I've ever had with the chorus was the first year I competed with GCC, and Kathy Fasikas was president at the time, and she asked me after we won if I would take the trophy off stage. And I think that was the proudest moment I've ever had.
Aww.
It was wonderful. Thank you all.
That was a cool share. Thank you.
Yes.
Miss you. Anybody else?
Renee has her hand up.
Okay.
Real quickly, the year we took first place, I wasn't at that competition because I was at my son Jeff's graduation from Kent State University. And Jonay had Bob call me on the phone, and I listened, and he said, how do you feel about wearing blue? And that was just as my son was walking down the aisle to get his diploma. It was the most exciting year, and I wasn't even there. And I was allowed to wear a medal. It was just so wonderful.
Did the work. Yay. Thanks, Renee. All right, I have a little trivia.
Wait a minute, there's another.
There's a few hands up still, yeah.
Okay, go. I only see. Okay.
Judy Duplaga had her hand up.
Cool.
I just wanted to say that, I've been blessed with a history with barbershop, with growing up with it with my dad and everything. And then when Jim came into my life, sharing all the years with him, which has been a lot of fun, and getting to know, sharing my life with Pride of Toledo on the Sweet Adeline side. But my most favorite memory was when I got to win a blue ribbon medal with my sister.
Yep.
That was very special. So thanks for that.
I'll bet. Awesome.
What year was pretty special for me too.
I have no idea what year that was.
Oh.
But it was fun. Patty captured a great moment of the two of us hugging on stage when they.
Yes, I remember it.
Yeah, yeah. That was very, very special picture.
Cool.
Thanks, Patty.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, who else we got, Rhiannon?
Let's see. Anyone else?
Oh,
Searching.
so I just want to say I've never had a chance to even speak with Nathan to say congratulations for being the new director. And you have a fabulous group of women to work with that make you pull your hair out sometimes. But they are a blast, and they are the hardest workers, and they have the biggest love in their heart. And I wish all the best to you, and to please continue to move the chorus forward.
Well, thank you, Jean. I can't afford to lose any hair. I'm already losing. I just can't, and I don't have the complexion or the head shape for a wig or a toupee. So we'll work through it.
We'll be gentle with you, Nathan. It's okay.
Oh, good.
Okay. All right. I have anybody else there, Rhiannon? No, I don't see.
I don't think so. I think we're good. And I mean, afterwards you can stay on as long as you want and chit chat about memories and stuff. So.
Yeah, I have some little trivia we can share afterwards. I was going to do a contest, but you know what happened the last time we tried to do a trivia contest? It went very, very bad. I clicked first. No. Anyway, at this time, I have one more person that wants to share a special message from our sweet Adeline's Supreme Leader, Joan, which I really hate saying her name, Boudelier. Anyway, our President, Joan. Joan is a Sweet Adeline International President. Joan is also International Quartet Champion with the Four Bettys, one of my favorites, and she has this to share.
Hi, Greater Cleveland Chorus. 35 years as a chorus, congratulations. Whether you've been a member of the chorus for 35 days, 35 months, or 35 years, you have created memories together, and all in the name of singing and friendship. Some of you right now are flooded with memories and probably have albums bursting with old photos on your shelves. Or you have overflowing boxes of keepsakes from contests and shows, or a closet full of clothes you've worn in the name of unity that are dedicated to past and future performances. I bet some of you have shoeboxes of cards sent from your chorus friends that you just can't bear to part with. And if you're like me, you've got your chorus's contest score sheets, recordings, programs, rehearsal schedules, filed neatly away in an office file cabinet, a real metal file cabinet with drawers that actually open and close. Do I ever look at them? Not much, not often, but like a good friend, I know they're there if I want to see them for some reason or another. I'm reminded of the song my chorus sang at its first international contest. It was called Old Songs, Old Friends. We had a tough time singing that song because we knew how special that contest would be. And we knew that when we got home afterward, a few of our members would be leaving us. There were several lines of that song which caused a lump in our throats to form when we'd sing them and tears to spring forth in our eyes. But the lyrics and the melody at the key change of that song were especially meaningful. I can still hear the music. I still know my part. The love and the laughter are locked in my heart. 35 years. There's a lot of love and laughter locked in your hearts. And there's more ahead. Right now, if you're like me, your stage makeup is in a messy little makeup bag under your bathroom sink, and your eyelashes are clumped together and are going to need some replacing. But the rouge is still going to work. If you're like me, your chorus jewelry is tucked in the bottom of a dresser drawer, and your old medals and the ribbons are possibly a little bit tangled up and mixed up, but they still feel good in your hand. And so the next time when you clean your drawer, you clean that drawer and tuck them back in again, all tangled and mixed up. And if you're like me, your stage shoes are gathering dust, And when you put them on in the near future, they will still hurt your little toes and they're going to make your feet numb. These are the things we treasure in chorus life and many, many more things. 35 years is a long time, but it's not long enough. There are 35 more years ahead for you and for future generations of Greater Cleveland Chorus members. So make room in your hearts and on the risers for them, and enjoy looking back this evening together as old and new friends. Here's to you and happy anniversary on 35 years. Congratulations, Greater Cleveland Chorus.
She's awesome. Okay. I think we can stop the recording, Rhiannon. Oh no, was it? Nathan, were you going to say something? I've wrapped.
Yeah, I don't want to follow that though. I don't want to follow any of this tonight. It's been absolutely delightful. So thank you for letting me be a part of this evening. It's been wonderful. I've spent the last few months trying to get up to speed, trying to learn the culture and learn the history. And this has been fantastic. I'm going to let the society and SAI and everybody know that this is what every new director should get when they come in to a new chorus. They should get the time capsule to know what they're coming into, because that really does help you appreciate it, know the history, know where they've come from so that you can know where they're going. So thank you for letting me be a part of the chorus and a part of this evening. Gosh, just an amazing job by everybody that took that, by Schaefer and Rhiannon, and I'm going to stop naming names because I know I'll miss somebody. But anybody that was on the team that made tonight happen, just an unbelievable job. So thank you so much for all the work of compiling and anybody who contributed and found these photos. Just truly amazing. It's been awesome to see so many photos and memories. Hear so much laughter and so many fun stories, and see so many sequins and chiffon and tulle. And I know what these things are now because I have dictionary.com right open on this screen, just so I can learn. I looked up garbage fabrique even before I realized that it was a tongue-in-cheek joke. Actually, I Googled it. So it's just an amazing history of singers and chorus members and quartets. So thank you to all who took part. It's amazing that this is more than just a chorus. It's more than just a group of singers. It really is a family, and what a joy to be a part of this organization and their 35 years of history, where every voice matters and every voice makes a difference. That's truly amazing, and there's nothing greater. I know Gene will tell you there's nothing greater for a director to work with a group where everybody values each other and there's not infighting and there's not the inner competition. It's one unit, and that's beautiful. That's what harmony is all about. And it's clear that this is a place where lives are impacted and hearts are changed for the better. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. We hope to share a song and some harmony in person with you very, very soon. But thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Nathan. I would like to do some shout outs before we cut off. First of all, I'd like to, they're not here, but I special thanks to Spotlight and Rumors for letting us use their music. That was above and beyond. And thank you, Gene, for pointing me in that direction so we could do that legally. I was grateful. They were happy to do so. Thank you to Ms. Oz behind the curtain. Rhiannon, she rocks. Joanne, you rock. Thank you tonight for your production. We had a few scary moments, but it went awesome. I also want to thank Joanne for her always stepping in to do some research, Kathy for her research, Marilyn Schroeder, Patty Temesey for your pictures, Kim Barth for helping me make those high res, I don't know if she's still here, but those high res photos of the chorus. It took a community, but I appreciate it. It's been 2 months. I'm done.
Yay, wonderful. I remembered one memory and I ran to the hallway to get it. See if anybody remembers this. Remember that show? Wait.
What show? Oh, you're a lion.
I was a lion. Remember the lion? I can't remember. The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Oh, the Wimbaway show.
Wimbaway. Oh,
yeah.
wow. That was fun. That was one of my great memories.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
I was fairly new then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, talk amongst yourselves.
Right. Next time I'd like to have us read the names of those that are deceased, like Lorraine Schroeder and, you know, this kind of thing. That'd take an awful lot of time, but
yeah,
it'd be nice to have that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for tonight.
Sure, sure.
Patty, you did a lot of work.
Thank you.
Y'all did. Y'all did. Thank you.
Fabulous. Yes, thank you.
Patty, you did an absolutely fabulous job in putting this all together. You must have lived with this for months. I don't know how you did it all, put it all together. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic, Patty Schaefer. I spent 3 years in the Rises with you guys and have a lifetime of friends. Thank you.
Oh, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Patty. That was just wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful anniversary present. Look, guys, I haven't left all that. I got this from my boss. It was just sitting in a storage room, and I said, I must have that. What's that for?
It's like a missile. Barbershop missile.
Very cool.
I have some trivia.
Dude.
You got to do it you have to do it in the response chat. So open up your chat.
Hey, Patty.
Yeah.
Do you want to end the recording before we play, or you want this on the? You think
Yeah.
so? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop the recording, and
Okay.
so feel free to say whatever you want after the recording's done.
Well, I've been meaning to tell you.
Hey.
Rhiannon.
Thanks, Rhiannon. Thanks, Rhiannon, for all your behind the scenes work
Yeah,
to
she's
make it run smoothly.
You're welcome.
You're incredible.
I almost didn't get to do it. My computer literally physically crashed like 10 minutes before we opened the doors. It was a
6:45,
nightmare.
and we were just bringing her computer back up. We hadn't tested sound, or Joanne was all on it though. We made sure.
She
Hey,
was.
talk about
She was
backup.
ready to go.
Rhiannon
Our-
had everything. Joanne had everything, and everything was cool. Everything.
Thanks, you guys.
I was turning into butter, but.